What is going on, everybody, and welcome back to the Cincinnati Reds franchise. This is the third episode here in year 3. We are 5-5, and we're taking on the Seattle Mariners in the middle of a series against the Mariners. So one guy I want to focus on here is Elly De La Cruz to start this video. He's batting 167 in the first 10 games, no home runs, no extra base hits. We have him to that $10 million a year until 2031 contract, and I want this to work out, but if he's going to put up a 167 average, a 417 OPS, it probably isn't going to work out long term, and it's going to look like a very bad deal in the long run. So, I want to focus on Elly, and one thing I definitely want to focus on is just becoming more patient at the plate. His vision, clutch, and discipline numbers are very low, and he's actually had rating regressions to his hitting attributes against left-handed pitching. So he really can only face right-handed pitching with any good numbers. So the biggest focus with Elly De La Cruz is just developing more of a patient approach at the plate. I think, when he gets on base, it's pretty much going to be a double because he's going to steal second and put himself in a scoring position. But if he's not getting on base, then it's not really going to matter. So that's why I think the biggest focus with Elly De La Cruz is just getting on base, walking more, and the strikeout numbers need to also go down. He's striking out at like a 30% rate so far. And then last year he was striking out at like a 26% rate. That really needs to go down because if you're striking out that often, then you're not even going to be able to have the opportunity to walk that much, and then you're not getting hits. I expect Elly De La Cruz to be a guy that's hitting around 270 to 280 with 20 to 30 home runs per year, but he's not going to be able to get to that if he's not going to make hard contact. Just like Elly De La Cruz in real life, he's actually hitting the ball very well and very hard, but he's not lifting the ball that well, and if he does, it's weak contact. That's what it feels like with Elly De La Cruz here in this franchise, is that, he's not hitting the ball in the air, but if he does hit it in the air, it's very soft contact. It's a lazy fly ball to shallow right, shallow left. And so that's something that I want to, focus on. There's a look at his defense as he does the Derek Jeter jump throw. He's not a bad defender here in this franchise for us. He has been responsible for a couple of errors so far in his career, and that's something that we want to, kind of make better. We want him to be a better defender and more sure-handed defender. Is what you see what he's doing in real life. It's unbelievable. As a second baseman, makes an incredible play to limit De La Cruz. So here he is now. He's 1 for 3, bottom 7, 2-2 count with Chris flexing up, and De La Cruz strikes out swinging on the 12-6 curveball. I'm very aggressive at the plate when I play with De La Cruz. Because of that, it's kind of hindered his ability to not strike out as much. As they turn 2 to win the game, the Cincinnati Reds will win this one 2-1. But like I said, with Elly De La Cruz, I expect him to be a 270 to 280 hitter, 20 to 30 home runs per season. We got to get him there. It's not going to be as simple as just letting him play, and he's going to make the approach to that level. We need to be smarter with him, be more patient at the plate, and I think we can develop a very well-rounded hitter. So we win this one 2-1. Hunter Green goes 6 1/3, allowing only the 1. 6 strikeouts. Austin Davis, Lucas Sims, and Alexis Diaz come in and do their thing. We need Alexis Diaz's ERA to drop desperately. So here we have a game. It's bottom of the 10th. Seattle leads 3-2, and we're going to jump into this game, and we're going to bring on Anthony Santander here to get an at-bat here in the bottom half of the 10th, as he's been one of our best players. He's leading the league in home runs, I believe, at this point. He's been very good. 3-2 count, and Anthony Santander is going to walk. So he does his job. He's not trying to do too much of the plate as he draws the walk. Here's Gio Urshela batting .333, batting 9th for us. And he's going to hit this one in the left center field. It's shallow left center field. A perfect pitch to hit, and he just missed it. So unfortunately, one away here in the bottom half of the 10th. We're in prime position. Here's Stuart Fairchild. He's 0 for 4 on the day. 0-2 count. And Fairchild goes down looking 100 miles per hour by Munoz. Fastball in the perfect position. So speaking of Elly De La Cruz, here he is, 175 average, and he's going to get an opportunity. 1-1 count from Munoz. Here's the pitch, and De La Cruz will swing right through the slider. Perfect pitch to hit. Good swing timing. He just swung right through it. Here is the 1-2 pitch to De La Cruz, and he goes down swinging on the slider, as the Seattle Mariners will not get swept, and they do pick up a series finale victory against the Cincinnati Reds. Low scoring affair again. I think our pitching has been really good. Lucas Sims responsible for the loss. Like I said, that we do win the series. We only allow 7 hits. We only had 5 hits ourselves. Our offense was really cold. India and Kirilloff both with 2 hits. Kirilloff's been really good to start this season. And then looking down here at the pitching, Max Fried goes 6 1/3, allows 1 earned, so really good outing. Carl Edwards did his thing, and then Lucas Sims comes in and gives up an earned run, unfortunately. So here is the lineup that I'm going to construct now and put together. Got to get a look at everybody's stats so far. If they're not hitting 300, they're hitting like 180. That's the one thing that I've noticed so far. India batting 333, Steers batting 185. Then Santander playing really good. AJ Pollock is the one guy that's kind of weird to me because we brought him in to hit home runs, and that's pretty much it. He's only going to face left-handed pitching as a DH. So, that's what you're going to get on him. Here, this game's 4-4. We're going to drop it to the Brewers, unfortunately. We lose 5-4. Ellie De La Cruz with 2 hits, Urshela with 2 hits, Jesse Winker with 2, and then Spencer Steer with 2 hits. Home run for Tyler Stevenson. Spencer Turnbull goes 5 innings, allows 3 earned, 6 strikeouts. Alex Reyes and Austin Davis do their thing, and then Lucas Sims gives up another earned run, unfortunately. So, kind of a rough start to the season for Lucas Sims, to say the least. So, here's Nick Lodolo. He's got an 8.38 ERA to start the season. He's only pitched 9 2/3 innings pitched. He's a guy that I honestly have contemplated trading for a while now, since last season pretty much. He's been very underwhelming in the series so far, and we're going to go ahead and get a player lock game with him here against the Milwaukee Brewers. So in this player lock, I want to sit down and I want to talk about what the plan is with Nick Lodolo moving forward. He's got a high ERA. So with that being said, he's been around like the 4.8 to like 5.3, I want to say, in the first 2 series. And so that ERA is really bad, and it needs to come down. I'm thinking it needs to be more like a 3.8, for me to really trust that he can get the job done, as he hits Christian Yelich with the pitch there. So here's Yelich trying to steal, and he goes into second safely. But like I was saying, like a 3.8 ERA, and that would give me the ability to trust Nick Lodolo more. And so the plan is with Lodolo, if he can pick it up and he can start performing better, then he will be a mainstay in this rotation. But if he continues to struggle, then we may seriously have to contemplate trading him at the deadline to try and improve somewhere else. We're only 13 games into this season, so I don't want to speak too soon on what the potential plans could be. But if he, still doesn't bring that ERA down, maybe a new team could fix the issues that we're seeing with Lodolo. So maybe a trade would be the most appropriate response. What I would look to bring in a trade for Lodolo would probably be a outfielder who can hit the ball hard, just because we don't have any real power on the outfield right now other than Anthony Santander, because Jake Fraley, we haven't really seen him come around yet. Spencer Steer, he's out there platooning with Jake Fraley. And it's really weird because we have 2 different positions that we platoon at, DH and left field. So those are 4 guys that we could just limit down to 2 guys if they were just everyday players. And that's one thing that I've noticed about this team. So if we were to trade Nick Lodolo, it would probably end up being for an everyday outfielder, somebody that can face lefties and righties, and we don't have to platoon them. That would be the plan. But Lodolo in this game so far is through 3 innings, allowing no earned runs, and now he's going to face Christian Yelich, who he hit in his first at-bat. Here's the 0-0 count to Yelich, and he hits this one to right field. This one is hit hard, it's hit deep, and it is gone. Christian Yelich will give the Milwaukee Brewers a 1-0 lead here in the 4th inning. It's Christian Yelich. I mean, he's really turned around his career after he had the incredible 2019 season. Even here in this franchise, he has performed a lot better. And if you leave a pitch down the middle, Christian Yelich, even though he's regressed a little bit since that time, he's still going to take advantage of it. As here's Eugenio Suarez, the former Cincinnati Red. He'll pop this one in the center. Stuart Fairchild is there to make the play. As Nick Lodolo's through 4 innings, only allowing the 1 earned, so can't really be too mad about it. As here's Tyrone Taylor now, as he hits this one down the line. If it's fair, it's going to be a double. Tyrone Taylor with that 73 speed, it's almost a guaranteed double, as eventually Fraley will get it in. As a leadoff double for the Milwaukee Brewers, sets them up for a good opportunity to score some runs. Here's Jordan Walker, was traded in year 1 of this series to the Brewers, as Kirilloff's going to take it himself as he almost runs into Lodolo there. So here's Garrett Mitchell. He's 0 for 1 on the day, and he goes down swinging on the slurve. Good pitch by Nick Lodolo, and it looks like he's going to try and strand that runner at third base. Here is Isaac Collins. Here's the pitch. It's outside with the circle change. Runs the count to 2-2. Here's the next pitch, and it's popped up in the air. Kirilloff, if this one doesn't go out of play, he's there to make the play, and he is. So 5 innings of work for Nick Lodolo, allowing 1 earned run. And now we go bottom 6. Bryce Turang is up at the plate, and he goes down swinging at the slurve. I guess you could say it was a check swing. It still works out. Here's Christian Yelich, 1 for 1, hit a home run his last AB, hits this one hard to Elly De La Cruz on the Kirilloff for out number 2. As Lodolo is 1 out away from going through 6 innings. And he gets Adames on the circle change. 6 innings of work for Nick Lodolo, 1 earned run. As now we go bottom 7 now, 81 pitches Lodolo has thrown. Here's Eugenio Suarez. He's 0 for 2 on the day. And he crushes this one to left center field. Lodolo knows it's gone, and it is. 2-0, the Milwaukee Brewers lead in this game. And unfortunately, it just is frustrating because you give up 2 solo shots, which if you're going to give up home runs, that's the perfect opportunity to give up a home run because then you can bounce back. There's nobody on base, and you can collect yourself. And that's what Lodolo did pretty much the entire game. Only allows 2 earned through 6 innings, but our offense couldn't do anything to help him. And due to that, we're set up in a position where we might lose this game. As we're going to go top 9 now, Anthony Santander is up. And Michael Lorenzen is working on a complete game shutout. 104 pitches he's thrown so far. Here's the 105th. And Santander will hit this one to center field. He got a lot of that ball, and it is gone. Anthony Santander with another home run as he continues to hit the ball very hard. I've been impressed with Anthony Santander. His 7th home run so far this season. This is only the 13th game, folks. He's on pace to hit 81 home runs at the moment. He hits this one 426 feet, 105 off the bat. As the Brewers will definitely make a pitching change now. They're going to bring in Devin Williams, who is very good. He's already only just 2 for 3 on save opportunities, so this is a guy we can take advantage of. As Tyler Stevenson's to the plate, 1 for 3 on the day, and he'll hit this one to second for out number 2. So coming to the plate now, I do believe it's going to be Alex Kirilloff. It is. He's 1 for 3 with a single earlier on in the game. Here's the 0-0 count from Devin Williams. He throws gas. Here's the pitch, and Kirilloff hits this one hard, but he hits it right to the first baseman as the Milwaukee Brewers will win this one 2-1. And unfortunately, the bats were just cold. The bats were sleeping, and they never woke up. So we're going to lose this one. Only 8 combined hits in this game. We had a couple of guys with 1 hit. Santander with the home run. Nick Lodolo, really good outing. Phil Bickford goes 2 innings and does really good as well as we are at the last game of the series, and we get swept by the Milwaukee Brewers, and we fall to 6-9 now. Matt McClain gets 2 hits. AJ Pollock with 2 hits. Santander, another home run. Graham Ashcraft goes 5 2/3, allows 5 earned runs. Graham Ashcraft's another guy that I do want to get to at some point and kind of get a player lock game with him because he's struggled as well. Tanner Scott's somebody we're going to go ahead and just bring up now. He's been pitching really well at the AAA level. Tim Hill has struggled in the 4 1/3 that he's pitched here at the big league level. So we're going to go ahead and send him down. We only had Tim Hill over Tanner Scott because of spring training results. So it's time to make the change now. So here's John Arrojo here in scouting. He's got a 70 to 98 potential. He comes in 3rd on our board. He looks like a very good strikeout guy. A lefty, 18 years old, out of Georgia. And he has a 5-pitch mix with a 2-seam fastball, slider, changeup, curveball, and splitter. And then you also got Dylan Towers here, a guy who I am interested in, but unfortunately, he only has 3 pitches that he throws. And because of that, I'm hesitant to, take a look at him right now. He throws a 4-seam sweeping curve and a changeup. If his pitches are dominant, we've seen Hunter Green be able to have a 3-pitch mix and be really good with them. So if his pitches are dominant, then maybe it's something we could think about. So here's Alvaro Cortez here, coming in 45th on our board. And unfortunately, he just hasn't looked like he's going to be the prospect we hoped he could be. So I'm going to take a look here at Vincent Tran. He comes in 5th on our board, 4th on the MLB board. 22-year-old. He's an experienced catcher. Looks really good defensively. Looks like he has some pop. So I want to get a little bit of scouting here on Vincent Tran. We will be able to scout him to 100% by the end of this scouting session. So that is the plan. As a matter of fact, we did not get swept. We actually went 5-4 against the Brewers in Game 4. I did not know there was a Game 4 until just now. So Jake Fraley goes 2 for 4. Stuart Fairchild goes 2 for 4. Home runs for Tyler Stevenson and Elly De La Cruz. And then looking at the pitching, Hunter Green goes 6 innings, allows 2 earned. Phil Bickford gives up 1. Carl Edwards gives up nothing. And Alexis Diaz luckily is able to hang on as we had a 4-run 9th inning. So here we are now. We're going to get a game against the San Francisco Giants at Oracle Park. A beautiful ballpark. We're 7-9, so we're hoping that we can bounce back here. As we're going to have Logan Webb on the mound here for the San Francisco Giants, a 6.28 ERA. And here's Jonathan India with a 275 average, has 1 home run so far on the season. Here is the 2-1 pitch to India, and he hits this one in the gap of right center field. It's a huge gap out there in right center field. If India was faster than 61 speed, I'd be thinking inside the park home run as he rounds second, and Jonathan India will be into third with a leadoff triple to start this game. You know, if that was Elly De La Cruz's speed, then I'm probably thinking inside the park home run off the bat. So here's Jake Fraley. He's got the 150 average. He has not performed that well, and he's going to strike out. Maybe it's time to move him down in the lineup a little bit. As here's Santander, 2 home runs in his last 3 games. He's batting .288 on the year. He's got good power, and he's going to hit this one to the first baseman, and India will come across to score the game's first run, 1-0, and the Reds will lead. As here's Max Fried, got a 2.33 ERA. Here's his 4th start of the season, a .98 whip, 18 strikeouts, and he's only walked 3 batters. As Austin Slater comes to the plate, and he is going to strike out looking to start off the bottom half of the first. Max Fried had the 3-2 count coming. Here's Luis Guillorme, 450 average to start the season. He hits this one to left field. Fraley's there to make the play, and we have 2 outs here in the bottom half of the first. Here's Jock Peterson now batting .288. Very good left-handed hitter. He can hit lefties and righties as well as he hits this one to right field. Santander's there to make the play and get it into second, but Jock Peterson has a base hit. And now here's Mitch Haniger, a guy who can crush left-handed pitching, and he hits this one deep to left field, but it's going to stay in the park. Jake Fraley camps underneath of it for out number 3 as the Reds remain in the lead at 1-0. Here we are, top 2 now. Alex Kirilloff with that .340 average, continuing to perform very well to start the season. And he's going to hit this one up the middle. It's off the second baseman's glove, and now Alex Kirilloff is going to have himself a leadoff base hit here in the second inning. As here's Jesse Winker now, .343 average. He's done really good in that DH spot, and he doesn't even have the greatest attributes as he's going to strike out on the sinker. Good pitch by Logan Webb. As here's Gio Urshela now with a .302 average. He's hitting really good to start the season as well as he's going to draw the walk. So runners on first and second now. Here's Elly De La Cruz with a .212 average. Something I said we wanted to do is be more patient, and he does. He draws the walk as well. Bases are juiced in the top of the second for Stuart Fairchild. Here's Fairchild, and he's going to pop this one up in foul territory for out number 2. Stuart Fairchild missed the opportunity to crush that hanging slider. As here is Jonathan India. He's 1 for 1, tripled in the first inning, and he is going to go down swinging on the slider. Logan Webb gets out of the second inning jam. As we go bottom 2 now, Thairo Estrada batting .291 this year for the Giants, and he's going to hit this one into left field. Fraley's there, but he's not going to get there in time as he's going to throw this one into second, and he cuts it off in time to limit Estrada to just a single, though. As here's Goldschmidt, a tapper in front of the plate. Stevenson's there to make the play. Got to hurry. And he does for out number 1. As here's Bobby Dahlbeck now. He can hit for some really good power as well. He hits this one in the right field. Santander is there to make the play, but Estrada will tag up from second and move his way into third. So 2 away here in the bottom half of the second. Here is James McCann. 0-1 count to McCann. And he's going to hit this one on the ground. India can't get there, and this game is tied. The Giants will tie this game up with a James McCann RBI single with 2 outs. As here comes Jake Fraley now in the top of the third. He's 0 for 1 to start this game off. Really poor average so far. And Fraley's going to hit this one to deep right field. A large ball out in right field. So unfortunately it's going to stay in the park as Fraley will cruise into second with a double. And I don't think any way you put it that was going to leave any ballpark as it was hit too flat. Here's Anthony Santander. 0 for 1 on the game, and he hits this one to left field, and it gets down. Fraley rounding third. He is going to score, and the Cincinnati Reds have now reclaimed the lead. 2-1 they lead. As here's Tyler Stevenson now. 1-2 count. Hits it back up the middle. Santander will get to second as Tyler Stevenson has himself a base hit. Runners on first and second now here in the top of the third with nobody out. And here's Alex Kirilloff. 1 for 1, and this one gets behind McCann as both runners will advance. Now we have 2 runners in scoring position. Alex Kirilloff is a really good hitter with runners in scoring position. Here's the 3-2 count, and Kirilloff's going to hit this one down the line. It's going to get down. Both runners will score, and Alex Kirilloff will cruise into second with a RBI double as the Cincinnati Reds now lead this one 4-1 in the third inning. I've been impressed with Kirilloff. Like I said earlier, this is a guy who's becoming really fun to hit the ball with. He's a really good hitter. And when he has runners in scoring position, his clutch is 83, so that makes him very fun. As Jesse Winker will draw a walk, and Logan Webb just can't get an out right now. As here is Gio Urshela, 3-0 count. He got the 302 average as he walked in his first AB as well. Here's the next pitch to Urshela, and it's ball 4. He walked him on 4 pitches. Logan Webb can't buy an out, as the San Francisco Giants will go ahead and bring in Kyle Harrison, the lefty. Wow, 2 innings of work for Logan Webb. I mean, he's a Cy Young potential pitcher, and he just really struggled today. As Elly De La Cruz will go down swinging as he'll strike out. And here's Stuart Fairchild now. He's 0 for 1. 2-2 pitch to Fairchild. And he hits this one to left field. This one's hit hard. It's hit deep. And it is off the base of the wall. The runners did not know what to do. And now you got a runner coming home. Here's the throw to home. And he is out at the plate. Jesse Winker tried to score. All the base runners just froze. They had no idea what was going on. Stuart Fairchild was like the only guy that knew that the ball had actually not been caught. And because of that, the Reds will unfortunately not be able to add on to their lead at all. 5-1. Somebody did score on the Stuart Fairchild double, but only 1 run is kind of frustrating, as Austin Slater will walk to start the bottom of the 3rd. Here's the 3-2 count to Luis Guillorme, and he'll walk as well. 2 runners on here in the 3rd inning with nobody out, as Jock Peterson comes to the plate, and he's going to go down looking at the slider. Good pitch by Max Fried. As Mitch Haniger's up now, 3-2 count, hits this one down the line. Kirilloff can't make the play. 1 runner is going to round 3rd, and he will be in to make this a 5-2 game, as Alex Kirilloff just missed the ball. As Mitch Haniger will get himself an RBI, and here's Thairo Estrada now, 1 for 1 he is, as he'll pop this one back up to Max Fried. He's going to take it like it's Little League. Nobody comes in to make the play. As here we go, 3-2 count to Paul Goldschmidt. And Goldschmidt looks stupid on the circle change. As Matt Vasgersian would have said back in MLB The Show 19, he couldn't have even hit that one with an oar. As Gio Urshela is at the plate now, 3-2 count. And he's going to hit this one hard to left field, as Gio Urshela is going to have himself a 1-out single here in the top half of the 5th. Gio Urshela has been really good to start this season as well. Elly De La Cruz has not. He's 0 for 1 so far. He hits this one to right field. Very shallow right field. Exactly what I was talking about earlier. If he hits the ball in the air, it's a lazy flyout. As here's Stuart Fairchild. Now he's 1 for 2. Hit the ball hard in his last AB. 2 outs. First pitch of the AB. Here's Kyle Harrison pitching. And Fairchild will hit this one down the line. It's going to get down for a base hit. Urshela will round 2nd. He's in the 3rd as the throw is offline. Stuart Fairchild would also roll in the 2nd. Runners at 2nd and 3rd now with 2 away. Jonathan India, he is 1 for 3 on the day. Hits this one to 3rd, and that will end the top half of the 5th. The Reds still lead 5-2 in this game, as here's Austin Slater to the plate again here in the bottom half of the 5th. Max Fried still working, as Slater's going to hit this one to right field. Santander's not going to get there, and Thairo Estrada, my fault, Austin Slater is going to have himself a leadoff double here in the 5th inning. As here's Luis Guillorme. He's working on a hitting streak, but he's not been able to continue it in this game, as he's going to pop this one up to Elly De La Cruz for out number 1 here in the 5th inning. As here's Jock Peterson. He's 1 for 2 on the day. He's got power. We've talked about it. And he's going to hit this one in the gap of right center field. Santander couldn't get there, and Jock Peterson is going to have himself an RBI double at the least. Is he going to round 2nd, go 3? No, he doesn't, but 5-3 is the score. Now, as the San Francisco Giants are now back in this game here in the 5th inning. As here's Thairo Estrada, 1-2 count with 2 away, and Estrada's going to go down looking. Through 5 innings is Max Fried. He's allowed 3 earned, but Jock Peterson makes the game a little bit closer as Bobby Dahlbeck comes to the plate. He is 0 for 2. He's going to hit this one past India, and Dahlbeck's going to have himself a base hit here with 1 out here in the bottom of the 6th. As Max Fried has been trying to do as well as he could in this game. As James McCann hits this one over Urshela, he knocks it down. McCann not very fast, and Urshela will still have time to get the runner out. So, Dahlbeck on 2nd with 2 outs here in the bottom half of the 6th. A base hit could potentially score Bobby Dahlbeck, but we're going to hope that he can't. Mauricio Dubon to the plate now as he fouls that one off. 1-2 count. The 106th pitch coming from Max Fried, and Dubon is going to tie this game up in one swing. Mauricio Dubon takes advantage of the poor pitching, as Max Fried is definitely exhausted in this game, Maybe we kept him in a batter too long, but I wanted to continue going with him. I thought he could get the out, especially with the 9-hole hitter, Mauricio Dubon. Unfortunately, he takes advantage of it, and he crushes it to left field, and this game's tied up now. As we're going to bring on Alex Reyes, he's been really good so far this season. He's facing Austin Slater, and he gets the strikeout. But the Giants tie it up, and now we're bottom 7, now runner on first, and Alex Reyes will get himself another strikeout as we are going to keep him in the game. He's thrown 17 pitches. Here's the 18th, and he gets another strikeout. Alex Reyes shutting this Giants lineup down. As now we'll go top 8. Elly De La Cruz is 0 for 2 on the game. We need a rally right now, as De La Cruz will hit this one back up the middle. And we talked about it earlier in the episode. If Elly De La Cruz gets on base, you might as well consider a double, because we're going to try and steal second with him. As here's Stuart Fairchild, 1-1 count. And he's going to hit this one in between the first and second baseman. And Elly De La Cruz will slide into second. As runners at first and second now with nobody out. And here's Jonathan India. Hits this one in the gap. Elly De La Cruz is going to stay put at third base. And he probably could have scored. And he probably could have scored even now. He's going to stay at third. Bases are juiced. 3-2 count. Anthony DeSclafani is the pitcher for the Giants. I did not mention that yet. And he's going to walk Spencer Steer. And the Cincinnati Reds are going to have the lead. He walked in the game-leading run. As here's Anthony Santander with the bases juiced. And he just missed it. As a center fielder is not going to have to move that much. Runners will tag. Everybody's tagging. And everybody will advance safely. The Reds will take a 7-5 lead. I mean, Santander just missed that. That could have been a grand slam if he would have turned on it. You know, it would have been a little bit more out in front. As Stevenson hits this one back to the pitcher, as one run will score, the other run will advance to third, and the Reds now lead this one 8-5. A really good inning here, as that was Aroldis Chapman, former Cincinnati Red as well. As here's Alexis Diaz, 5 1/3 inning pitch. He's 3 for 4 on saves, but he's a 6.75 ERA. He's on to try and save and close this one out as Mauricio Dubon's up, and he'll hit this one in the center field. Fairchild's there to make the play for out number 1. Now it's Austin Slater's turn, 0-2 count. And Slater hits this one in the gap, and it's going to get down. Base hit for Austin Slater. That's exactly what the Giants needed at this point. As here's Luis Guillorme, hitting streak. He's going to try and continue it here, and he is going to. As this one gets down, Spencer Steer gets the ball in, and now the game-tying run is at the plate, and it's Jock Peterson. He is dangerous. But he gets under it, and Tyler Stevenson's going to camp underneath this one for out number 2. He got a little bit too under it, as here's Mitch Haniger now, 0-2 count, and Haniger hits this one on the ground to De La Cruz, and he fumbles the ball. De La Cruz is not going to be able to throw out Haniger, and the bases are loaded with 2 outs. That is an error by Elly De La Cruz, as here's Thairo Estrada now, 1-1 count, and he fouls this one back. He can be a dangerous hitter. The 1-2 pitch, and Estrada swings and miss. The Cincinnati Reds will win this one 8-5, as that one was way too dramatic at the end there. The error by Elly De La Cruz caused the bases to be loaded, and Thairo Estrada was the game-winning run at the plate, could potentially walk it off with a grand slam. But Alexis Diaz did what he needed to do, as this one had a lot of offense. 8-5, both teams with 12 hits. Stuart Fairchild, player of the game, with 3 hits. Jonathan India and Alex Kirilloff both had 2 hits themselves, and then Tyler Stevenson had a hit as well. As here we are in the next game against the Giants, as we're going to win this one 2-1, as Alexis Diaz does his job and shuts it down, as we move to 9-9 now. 2 hits for Elly De La Cruz, 2 hits for Stevenson, 2 for Santander, and 3 for Urshela. And then Spencer Turnbull goes 6 1/3, allowing only 1 earn. And then Phil Bickford, Tanner Scott, they all shut it down. As we lost 4 in a row, and now we're going to win 4 in a row. So, you know, the up and down start, if we could just be more consistent, we could be a really good team. Our pitching has been dominant. Nick Lodolo goes 8 innings, allows no earned runs. Lucas Sims and Carl Edwards come in and shut it down. Nick Lodolo, bounce back outing right there, as we are 18th in batting average in the MLB, and we are all the way down the board at 20th in runs. So our offense has been very lackluster, but we are tied for 9th with home runs, pretty much because of Anthony Santander. And then looking here at defense, we have the least amount of errors so far this season, and we have the best defense. Looking at ERA, I expected to go all the way to the bottom to have to see ours, but we're actually in 9th at the moment. So I'm impressed. And you look at runs allowed, and we're tied for 8th. So we're pitching very well. We're not allowing a lot of runs, but our offense has not really gotten the production that we've wanted. Got a lot of guys that are hitting for average, but not a lot of guys with extra base hits, not a lot of guys with good slugging or good ISO. or on base percentage? Where do we need to, what needs to change for this offense to make our offense go from like the 20th best in run producing to like 10th best? Because then I would feel pretty good about it. That's the question that I have to try and answer, and hopefully we can do it in-house. But if we have to make trades, then that's just something that we're going to have to do. But I want this offense to go from like the 20th best run producing offense to at least top 10. If we can have a top 10 pitching and a top 10 hitting, then I think we have a team that could potentially make a run for the playoffs and win this division. But that's going to do it for this episode. If you guys enjoyed it, I encourage you guys to leave a like, comment, subscribe, and look forward to videos continuing to come out. I have a big backlog. I'm going to tell you right now, I have a big backlog of videos that I've recorded, but I haven't done the audio or edited them yet. I have a big life-changing thing going on that's about to come up anytime now, really. So it could cause videos to slow down, but if I have videos pre-recorded, then it'll be a little bit easier for me to go ahead and edit them when I have free time. But I will let you know that I have probably played all the way through the month of May by the time you guys watch this episode, or close to the end of May. So just stay tuned for the videos, guys. I'm going to continue pumping out content, but if you guys enjoyed it, leave a like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. See ya.